everybody, welcome back to Quest Junkies. It's Monday night, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for some Wyld Ones. It's the Rhódania Chronicles. Say hi, guys!
Heyo!
Hi guys!
We are so thrilled to see you. Unfortunately, our dear Myra the Pirate cannot be on stream with us this week, but we are sending so much love, as she sends love back by giving inspiration to the second best small boy, in parentheses, best small boy in Rhódania's heart. Ooh, are we getting a little lore drop there? I think maybe. Interesting. So clearly what that means is inspiration for Brim. It can't possibly mean anyone else, like.
Absolutely, of course.
Never, no. Where's you have inspiration? So yes, sending love to our dear Myra the Pirate in the chat. We will see you very, very soon, my dear friend. Let us quickly just go around the table and look at these lovely faces who we've not had on the screen for a little bit. So, Grim in chat, let us know who you are and who you are playing.
Oh, that's me. Friends, hi, it's been a hot minute. I'm like, literally Grim in chat. I will be reprising my role today as your second favorite small boy, Wes, the Alchemist Artemis.
Amazing. Good to have you back as well. Moving down the overlay. Is that a Wyatt that I see there? Hello, friend. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello! It's not like anyone else knows me. My name is not Wyatt. No, not at all. Hi, my name is Wyatt. I play Reese, our wonderful Bard Cleric multiclass.
Our patron of the moon, lover of all things moon related, and just moon, I think. Yes. I'm
General Mooney, good boy.
Yes.
Job is
all the
moon.
moon stuff. Thank you so much. Good to have you back. And we also have an enigma, a nice try enigma, if you will. Bridget.
Hi everybody, I'm Bridget. Tonight I'll be playing Frick, you edgy goth mommy. Let's have some fun.
That sounds like a good plan to me. And I'm Patch, the ever-humble Dungeon Master, making my return after my 2-week hiatus, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it's been. Time is a weird soup and a construct that I don't fully understand, but we are back nonetheless. Do keep your eyes on the chat and on the screen throughout the session, as there will be little shout outs to our friends and sponsors, perhaps? But more on that a little later on. But yes, we have lots of people to thank, people like Sirenscape, our wonderful character artists. It'll all be in the chat for you to enjoy. The most important thing is getting into the story. So, where were we last we left off? All those weeks ago. In Rhódania Chronicles. Well, it was an interesting time. There were appearances from gods. Just having a chat in a library, which, you know, as gods are known to do, obviously, clearly that is their known typical behaviour. Which led to the acquiring of some old texts from said library in a very, very creative way, if I may say so myself. We had an interesting encounter with a tailor who was totally not a character from Baldur's Gate 3 ported over during the Great Reconvergence. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's purely conjecture. But nevertheless, a tense encounter led into a fun alliance with a dude called Astarion. Like that was a whole thing. But some outfits were commissioned, some items were acquired, and most importantly, a plan going forward was made, as the wider goal of the group now is to head northward towards the city of Morganath. The citadel of Morganath, should I say. which has been known to be very difficult to get to, but there are different options available to them. And as we rejoin our group at the start of a new day, following all that tension from yesterday and all the hijinks and escapades, and the sun shines brightly in the sky today. As one by one you wake up and find yourselves downstairs in the communal area of the home that you all have together. One by one, you reconvene. Brim's having a bit of a lie-in. There's a little note on the table in Rhódania's very, very recognizable handwriting. She's currently out helping the two mums of the house do some shopping. We'll be back a little bit later on. So the house is yours, just the three of you at the moment. So who do we see first? Who's the early riser of the group, do we think?
Roll for it.
If you want to roll for it, yeah. Rollies. Highest number
5.
wins.
Nope.
Wow, it wasn't as much in it as I thought there would be. Okay, so first, where is Wes staying in the house at the minute? Since his room and the lab vanished. Is that are you still staying in that part of the house? Is that why you're up early? Because the sunlight and the breeze and
There's a draft.
there's a draft. The morning.
It's it kind of gets under your britches. It just wakes you up really early. I like to think that he's probably taken up residence on the couch in the common room for the time being. So he's likely just up first, and he's always up early anyways. But you see him very much kind of sprawled out with all of his different alchemical tools. You get a couple of vials and everything else, and this notebook, which has now gone from research notes to research drawings. And as he kind of sees everyone coming down, feels like I've slept for weeks. How are you guys feeling?
The couch that comfortable?
More comfortable than a bed of grass.
Inside check.
Also, inside check. Go ahead.
Make an inside check.
That's a dirty 20.
Oof.
Well, good, because you beat me by 10 times. That was a 2 on my part. So I think, Frank, what you would have known just from the different experiences of catching up over those couple of weeks and telling tales, it's not always been a bed of grass.
Wait, then what has Wes slept on?
Anything but a bed, typically. Workbench. Probably bench in a tavern. So not a bed of grass.
A lot of benches.
A lot of benches.
Huh. I think probably she's been in the kitchen at some point while Rhódania has made tea, so she will attempt to replicate a tea recipe heading into the kitchen.
Okay. Fascinating. I'm gonna say, go ahead and give me, what would I call this? Give me a dexterity check.
14?
14? Okay. I was going to set the DC at 12, so that is a success. I'll say it takes you a little bit. Like, when you watched Rhódania do it, it was super quick. Like, she barely had to pay attention to what she was doing because it's, like, muscle memory, it's second nature. So, like, you took your time with it, but you got tea.
She'll, try and make enough for everyone in a pot and just leave it out in case anyone wants it. But she'll come back out with a cup. And I also want to add that I think the medallion of, divination protection looks a tiny bit like a tiger's eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely stands out.
To find the cleanest space around Wes's improvised workshop and sit and drink tea.
Okay. Reese?
I would like to think that Reese is still asleep because he was up late looking at the moon and telling Brim about the different constellations that Reese knows of.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still happily napping away for the time being.
Okay.
But as the day continues on, he'll wake up, slowly make his way down. Probably about an hour after the initial conversations.
All right.
I think
So is there... Go ahead.
stirring the tea, she might just go to Wes. So we should talk about the palace.
Oh, what's there to talk about? I mean, if you're looking at architecture, I'm more than happy to look at it. We can work out the details together.
About going back to the palace as ourselves.
Oh, this talk. Okay, I'm listening.
I think we just use our claim to fame, inquire about the branches of Paylor more formally, and if they want to help us, then great. That could be an option, but if not, then we have Madeline. And yeah.
Well, don't let me hold the great Crowley from exploring the great depths with the most famous of all sky carvers. My only concern is, the guards did see me coming out, so I would either need to hide or let
They
you guys
saw
do the
you
talking
as
yourself.
yourself?
Yep.
Okay. Is there any chance that they wouldn't remember you?
There is a 2% chance if the guards have a rotation. There's also a 98% chance I end up in jail, but semantics. I think if you guys do the talking and get the resources you need, I mean, they will listen to you guys at the very least. You didn't appear through the portal.
Okay. Then everybody's out or sleeping today. I suppose if Reese also wants to go, then we'll go together.
Oi, big cat.
Just yelling up to the stairs.
We're gonna try and not cause mischief, but do you want to go to the palace?
Not cause mischief? That sounds boring. Wait,
Okay,
why
I'll
the
give you-
palace?
Information.
Reese will come down the stairs.
You know.
Go ahead.
Information.
Oh no. Well, we've got to take care of a few last minute things before we decide to get to Morganoth. So while we still have our good names, I thought if there's anything we want to ask, Frank can lead on. And if you have any questions about the city, you could do that. I'll likely try to keep a low profile.
Why are you keeping a low profile? I don't know how long we've known each other, but in my very short time of knowing you, you've never tried to keep a low profile.
Well, I might be a war criminal.
Seems Wes and Rhódania left an impression on the palace last time. First they were disguised, but then Wes apparently revealed his true self. She's going to just raise her eyebrows at Wes as though implying that he should perhaps elaborate on this mysterious circumstance.
Wait, when did I attack you because you were disguised as a tabaxi?
That was last...
Was yesterday.
Yeah.
So, when you were getting your nice little billowing cape, long story short, you know why the workshop isn't there anymore?
It was briefly ran down.
Okay. Long story short, I think I converged. I think I converged the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
That's why it's
He
gone.
went to space.
I went to space. See, that's how I get all this nice little stuff, showing the sort of kintsugi astral purple glow on him. Not sure how, but I went to the astral sea, and they had a network that brought me back here, called the Branches of Palor. Apparently, there's one in the palace of Zundanarg. I went through, and they said that they had shut them down for a long time, and that any use of it, most recently, was done to cause wartime efforts and to attack other cities. So, they said there were consequences, and that was the consequence that I might be a criminal, a war criminal.
A war criminal by using the branches just to get back?
Well, from my limited understanding of things, it sounds like they've used it most recently during wartime efforts, and any use of that has been guarded since. They've all apparently been dormant up until now.
But it sounds like it was an emergency.
They don't know that. I tried to explain, but they didn't know that.
Did you try to explain it to yourself or as your
Mhm.
disguise?
As my beautiful golden self.
Okay.
So it'd be smart to go back to the palace?
Be smart for you guys to go back to the palace. I can be invisible the whole time.
That's quite
Okay.
the power.
So, if there's anything you guys want to ask, we can certainly ask. And if anything relevant comes up, I'll poke you and whisper in your ear.
Okay.
It's far too early for this.
Perhaps it's too late to ask questions, and more importantly, too late to get the information. Now, I'm ready, Frike, I think. Yes. When we get closer to the castle, I'll go invisible. And then, if you need me for anything, I'll be right at your side.
He's
Just
gonna get
feel around.
ready to go.
I'll go put on my armor.
Don't forget the cape, you look regal.
The cape's half the armor.
Fair. So I think we're
Alright.
good.
You're gonna start heading towards the palace then?
Mm-hmm.
And I think as we get closer,
Okay.
kind of before we round the corner, I will cast invisibility.
Okay. Are you doing this out in the open?
No, probably in an alleyway. just letting
Okay.
these guys know, and then following right behind. Maybe like give Frike a little tap on the side or on the arm, maybe, just to kind of give the signal.
Okay, cool. Easy enough. Let me just do a little rolly here. Okay. So you head towards the palace. Wes ducks down into an alley and vanishes, and then Frike, you feel just a little tap. You don't see anyone, but as pre-explained, that is the sign of the invisible Wes. You continue on. Oh.
She'll try and whisper, "Mommy." I can't see you do that.
Nobody sees the thumbs up.
Oh, I love that so much. So you continue on towards the palace, and as there was last time that Wes would recognise, there are 2 guards on the main gate and more patrolling along the wall. They don't look to be the same guards that were there before, but they do see you approaching and sort of look towards Reese and Frike. Hello, state your business with the palace?
We seek an audience with scholars who would be capable of providing us information on the branches of Pelor.
Bunches You see that, like, they talk amongst themselves for a second. Reese, you have a very high passive perception, so you would absolutely hear, like, them whispering to each other. It's like, is this the people they were talking about? Is it to expect? Yeah, I think this might be them. Okay. Yes, the High Magistrate has been expecting you. You are the Wyld Ones? Wyld Ones?
Yes, that's correct.
It's my mistake. I'm a guard, but I'm not much of a fighter, so I didn't go to the tournament. So it's like, I appreciate I'm kind of meeting a celebrity right now, but I don't really know why you're a celebrity. So it's nice to meet you anyway. But yes, open the gate.
What do you do for entertainment?
Hacky sack mostly. I got quite good at it, actually.
Ultimate hacky sack tournament. Okay.
Do you have one on you now?
I mean, when do I not have one on me? But I am on shift, so I've got to be careful.
It's fine, you're with a celebrity. Teach me.
That's a good point, actually. Alright, so it pulls out this little hacky sack. So basically, what you do is, he starts showing you, do you want to have a go?
Yes, I want to have a go.
Alright. Give me, call this an athletics check.
Athletics. Oh, God, that's terrible. Okay. 14.
14. Not bad for a first attempt. Like, you hacky that sack, and you hacky it pretty decently. Like, oh, you see, you've got the natural gift for it. Maybe this is what you become a celebrity for. But, you know, like, just once you're big and famous in the hacky sack world, don't remember who opened the door for you, yeah?
What was
What's
your name?
My name is Breck.
Breck the guard. I'll remember
That's me.
that.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thanks for showing me. I will, assuming I have the hacky sack in my paw, I'll toss it up and try to, like, kick it to him. Like, in the
Okay.
hacky sack, like, way.
Give me another check.
17.
17. Okay. He also rolls a 17, so
I'll bet.
with that, you do, and as it comes up in the air, he catches it, and then he goes, think fast, and he lifts his other hand up, and you react, and you catch something as he throws you another hacky sack. So, there you go, that's your first one, on me. So you can now add a hacky sack to your inventory.
Cool. He thinks.
Around about this time, the two massive gates do open up, and you begin to see the courtyard of the royal palace, which is, when the gates open, it looks far bigger than what you would anticipate it looking. It's quite a widespread area. There's a lot of guards patrolling. There's a lot of people in very fancy robes, sort of strolling about talking. There looks to be like a group of young scholars being given a lecture on something to the sort of far left-hand side. And directly down the path ahead, you see the entranceway to the royal palace itself, which is very regal. The way I have it in my head, it's almost very Turkish inspired in terms of architecture. It's very different to anything else you would have seen in other areas of Rhódania. This is very authentic Zundanarg. But you are gestured to head down the main path towards the palace proper.
I think to check that Wes is still there, she will kind of stick her hand out like this way, but behind her in a way that like someone might ask for a low high five.
Okay.
Wes is going to totally misread that and just kind of hold your hand.
Wes thinks it's uppies.
Okay.
Mama Frank again?
I don't know. Could I sneak an invisible backpack into the palace?
You can certainly try. If you want to.
If this would be easier, climb on. She'll like won't know where to reach to like catch you if you attempt to climb on her back, so she'll just.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hand here. You bend down to look like you're tying your shoe, which gives Wes the perfect opportunity just to. But I will need your acrobatics check from Wes.
And do.
DC 10.
That's pretty good. That's 19.
19. Flawlessly done. You feel just the dish, and then the soft wrapping of arms around your neck, not tightly, as you now have an invisible backpack.
Oh, okay.
Mind. Cautiously. I will
That's like
not
right
provide.
in her ear too. That's like
No one subscribed for Wes ASMR.
Wesamar.
Wesamar.
Okay. On our way.
All right. So you head towards the palace proper, and as you approach, the next set of doors are opened further, and you see this massive sort of interior, almost like a ballroom. And there's lots of people dotted about. And ahead of you there is like a massive dual curving stairway that goes up to a larger raised platform. Underneath the platform, where straight away you recognize the branch of Palor that was situated beneath this platform, which has a number of people around it doing something or other with it. And as you sort of enter this room, one of the sort of servants comes over. Welcome to the palace. Can I ask, do you have an appointment, or?
With the High Magistrate.
What would it be regarding?
We sought information from scholarly resources about the branch of Palor.
Oh, yes, my mistake. Yes, the High Magistrate is expecting you. Has been since last night, I believe. Very well. Right, this way. Sorry, big fans. I didn't recognize you at first. Right,
Can
this
I
way.
insight?
Time.
Can I insight? Like, does something seem suspicious with the way that they're like? It's like since last night. Oh, since last night. Why? Why
Make an
since
insight
last
check.
night? Insight. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, that was cocked. I should have taken the first one. 10. 10?
A 10.
11.
Difficult to read. There's definitely a bit of a nervousness around him, but that could just be that he's realised that he's talking to the Wyld Ones, who are now a bit of a name in this city. Kind of a running trend from the guards. So, difficult to really ascertain.
As he's leading at they,
He.
as he's leading us, I'll ask him. So do you play hacky sack?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term.
Neither was I. It's fine.
Oh, my apologies, sir.
No, my apologies. It's fine. Gift of gab.
Gotta love that spell.
I love it so much.
If only we had it in real life. Oh my god.
Reese is like slightly embarrassed.
So, as he leads you forward, you expect him to lead you up the stairs, but he actually leads you towards the branch of Palor. And you get a better look at this. For those of you seeing it for the first time, it is like a gateway that's built out of old stone and brick. Looks incredibly old. I'd go as far as to say that Reese in particular, this looks older than some of the oldest parts of Galea that you've seen before. So it particularly stands out. There are ancient runes carved throughout. And it looks pretty worn down, and it looks like it's been partially dismantled in some aspects. And there's people frantically studying it and making notes and discussing things about it. But you're brought over to two individuals in particular, one who just looks like to be one of the sort of resident scholars, and the other how best to describe this, a 7.5 foot tall air genasi who is in very long white and gold robes, long billowing blue hair, sort of a lighter blue tint to the skin, clear white eyes, and a very pleasant looking face, but with an air of authority to it as well. As they stand discussing this, and you're brought over. High Magistrate, sire. May I present the Wyld Ones? Some of the Wyld Ones, I believe. As the figure sort of turns to look at you, he's got a book in his hand that he just snaps shut and passes it to the person without actually making eye contact with you. Ah, Wyld Ones. I appreciate you coming. I was actually expecting you yesterday after, I believe one of your compatriots had an unscheduled meeting of sorts here, shall we say? Best way to put it.
Apologies. We believe he may have simply been confused at the time. But we took the night to make sure he was all right before we returned. Before most of us returned. Some of us are waylaid with other tasks, but it's good to formally meet you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you who we are.
Certainly not. I fear I may have to tell you who I am, though, as I know that the only member of the Wyld Ones actually from these lands is unaccounted for. I will ask about that, but not quite now. My name is Dothran Myth. I am the High Magistrate of Zundanag and have been in this position for probably about 2.5 centuries at this point. It's been a while. Sometimes it feels like it's gone in a flash, but these are confusing times. I think we have a lot to discuss. Your friend has caused quite the political upset, if I may be so bold. Where to start? I mean, I'm all for transparency. Let me just be brutally honest with you. Gesturing back to the branch of Palor. This is supposed to be deconstructed. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, it is. I'm not sure if they now know that it's not. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. What would help is knowing why your comrade activated it.
As far as we are aware, it was under dire circumstances, at the risk of his own life should he not come up with a plan to save himself. It didn't seem like he had much choice from the way he told us. It was either that or face certain death.
Well, it is funny. Anytime these portals have been used, it seems to involve certain death and calamitous events and hellfire and brimstone and all the drama, so that's par for the course, really. Shall we... Let's go somewhere a bit more private and a bit comfortable. Reginald, can we get perhaps a mid-morning brunch platter and some beverages for our guests? We are hosting guests, after all. They are celebrities. You can see, like, everyone seems very enamored with this leader. Like, he seems to be a very popular leader. He has quite a... We'll say he has high charisma. Yeah. If you like, you may follow me, and we'll have a conversation, shall we?
All right.
And he begins walking and taking up one of the dual stairways, heading to the upper level. Anything from the three of you?
You said maybe this will be better in a private room, but you said political discourse or political upset. Why would something that shouldn't exist create political upset?
And he sort of turns around and leans in a bit closer to you. It's because then Etherion and Berthie and they find out we were fibbing slightly. when we said that we had deconstructed the portal. Yeah, it's not great.
So the political upset should be on your hands, not ours.
Well, of course, yes. He starts to get a little uncomfortable. It will, yes, which is why I'd like to deal with it.
Insight check. Deal with it or us?
Make an insight check.
Terrible. That would be a 9.
9. With a 9, he's certainly concerned. You don't feel like this is a veiled threat aimed at you. And looking at, like, the build of this guy, he's built like a sunflower. Like, it doesn't look like he could successfully threaten you, so... Even with a 9.
Okay.
But he continues on, leading you up the stairs and into the back sort of chambers of the palace, and finds a little meeting room to one side. Frank?
I think in an attempt at silent communication, though I'm not sure Wes would be able to tell if it's comfort or a gesture that says, we need to talk, she's just going to roll her shoulders a little bit.
Okay. Wes, give me an insight check.
Why are you rolling your shoulders? That was a 3.
3.
Amazing.
Sotto voce, seems like you're not the real war criminal after all, but whispered, because my mic won't pick it up.
Good. I'm still terrified.
Me too. Let's go.
Okay. So eventually, after a few minutes, you're brought into this quite nice sort of private chamber. It looks like a study basically, but quite a large one. There's a couple of people in there, but as the High Magistrate walks in, they sort of pack up their things and they leave out of a different door, leaving the room to all of you. As he walks over and he pulls a couple of chairs around a big table towards the center of the room, and he sits down, pulls out one of those, you know the long sticks that people have to put cigarettes on the end of, like they had back in the oldies. Pulls one of them out, sparks it up, and just kind of like, so quite a mess we're in. So,
seem that way, yes.
And of course, I just want what's best for the people, as I am the leader of the people after all. And you are guests of the city, you are saviors, so of course you are the people as well. But I'm going to level with you, I'm absolutely fucking terrified. If Therion, I don't know if they're even aware that the branch was used. I don't know how interconnected they still are. If they secretly, because if they secretly didn't dismantle theirs, would they then tell us? Because then that would reveal that they too hadn't, and it's a lot.
I suppose we would like to learn more of what information exists overall. Perhaps how many are left, if these are indeed extreme times that we're living in that call for extreme circumstances. wherein use of the branches might be sanctioned once again. For we have seen a great many things in our travels, and they are also quite concerning as well. Things relating to the reconvergence. And we have been handed a lead of what might possibly be happening, and it seems to be on a massive scale, but we won't know for sure until we are able to investigate it further. So, I don't suppose you could tell us any more about the Citadel of Morganath either.
Ooh. That's a name I've not heard for some time. Yes, that's the seat of the gods. Can I just ask, what is this in relation to the branches exactly?
It may condense a lot of our journey to investigate these rumors and discover their truth, because as we have learned, evidence points to some sort of, I'm gonna try and think of a better word to phrase, a better way to phrase this out of character, but she's basically alluding to celestial events, which I'm going to say, is talking about the gods, the activities with the gods. And it seems that the once empty seat of the gods may suddenly be filled once more. And I think learning whether or not it's a good thing, whether or not the gods being in Morganath, whether or not the gods walking in Rhódania again, is a benefit or a detriment to stopping the reconvergence.
Well, shit. I thought I had the political nightmare. That's a lot. I'm just gonna take a second just to process all that. And you can see, his entire body language has changed.
Understandable.
Right, so... Okay, the Citadel of the Morganath, the seat of the gods, long since abandoned for thousands of years. You're suggesting they're coming back?
Yes, in ways that I don't think we can even begin to comprehend yet. From what little we've seen, I believe we made this decision because we know when to admit when we are out of our depths.
Well, I suppose if it's the gods we're talking about, then perhaps all mortals are out of their depths. I'm not sure.
Because we value our place here, and for the sake of transparency, I figured it would be easiest to just open a dialogue about everything that's been happening. And I think she is going to turn to Reese and just... one moment. I just need to confer with Reese. And I think she is going to ask him in a moderately lower voice if he's alright with her bringing up Amira.
Yeah. Would you like me to talk about her? I can.
Well, he's asking about our, like, how we know all of this, and essentially, I think context is needed, and you've had the closest experience to a good. Is Amira good aligned? Just a thought just occurred to me.
Depends who you ask. I think if you ask Mai, there's a very different answer. That'd be Mai. I'd say you'd know enough to know that typically she's regarded as good.
I will turn to our high mage friend. I forget his title. And I'll bring out my holy symbol. There we go. Of Amira. Put it down on the table. I have connections. Now, whether or not he knows, because this is Reese's symbol for Amira, not like a known symbol, but it does have the moon, so.
Well, he rolled a 2 on his religion check, so... Fine craftsmanship. Indeed. Is that some sort of secret guild or lawkeeper society or... Sorry, symbols are not really my thing. I have people for that.
Okay. Wow, you're daft. Gift of gab.
Use all your spell slots on Gift of Gab.
100%. It's a good thing. It's a relatively low spell slot. Before I continue, is the food here yet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, no. Okay, cool. I'll put the symbol back on. Well, my connection happens to be my patron, Amira.
Oh. I see. Oh, well, blessed be the day to you, good friend.
And unto you.
Well, this got awkward very, very quickly.
Here are lovely. Where is that music coming from?
Ah, yes, the bards. They do know their stuff. Reginald!
Yeah.
Reginald! Is the food ready yet? As the doors open and a respectably sized platter is presented to all different meats and cheeses and vegetables and just a little bit of all sorts.
Forgive me. I will put my hand out and I'll cast Purify Food and Drink. Just as a precaution.
Natural one on his Arcana check, so he's literally just like, ah, yes, a blessing of the food. Yes, I do want to respect all beliefs and cultures. So, do we say grace or what?
No, you don't have to do anything if this is not your religion. I will just sit here and I will bless the food. And like Purify Food and Drink like occurs, like nice little like glitter from my palm. The food glows just slightly and then settles back into its normal
that's
luminescence.
Amazing, wonderful.
Eat.
Yes, he starts tucking in. Okay, so gods, Morganarth people, gods coming back. That could be fun. I mean, the gods are all good, righteous beings. Now you're giving me that look, which suggests there's a downside to this, isn't there?
Yes, I believe so. Reese has connections. I seem to have developed a connection by proxy to the Raven Queen. She has... I think this is also, like, the first... I mean, she probably has told, like, everybody else about her encounter with the Raven Queen. But she will say, the Raven Queen has offered me a boon. Because my father, the Dreadlord of Tomea...
I'm sorry, I'm gonna... Excuse us. Are you sure you can trust this guy?
If we don't start trusting somebody, who can we trust?
Maybe someone not in such a high seat of power. Sorry.
Sorry, Tomea. Tomea is that by Inyath? Is that Nero Berthi, or I'm not familiar with that.
Shadowfell. It's another.
Oh, is it Demethrin? Oh, I'm still learning. That's been a whole other thing, honestly.
It's not quite in Rhódania. It's in another plane of existence. The Shadowfell is another plane of existence. I'm from there.
Reconverged. He's an idiot. Just tell him you're reconverged. A little poke on the back of your shoulder.
Okay. Perhaps it was part of the reconvergence. She knows it's not, so it's gonna sound unconvincing. Perhaps it was part of the reconvergence. We have no way of knowing.
Give me persuasion or deception, your choice, and I'll give you advantage because, as previously stated, he's a dumbass.
And if you need it, I'm going to reaction flash a genius, which gives you an additional +4 on the roll.
Okay.
Oh,
There's a straight
okay.
+4. Dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I might need that.
You might not.
Oh no, 7.5 foot tall himbo, you're saying?
A little bit.
More like a string bean. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the +4, that would be a 10 total.
10 total. DC was 10.
Well,
Okay. Oh, the bloody convergence. You know, I nearly didn't get re-elected because of that bollocks. Was it 8 years ago now? God, time flies. But then again, it doesn't sometimes. It's just a never-ending story. Do you know? It is all politics. Life is politics. Everything comes back to politics, whether you want it to or not. It comes back to bite you in the butt. So convergence. Yes, I know. I finally recognize something in this conversation. I mean that in no offense, but this is... I have a team of people that tend to do a lot of stuff for me. I'm the people person. I'm the face that people look at. I wave at the crowds and tell them what they want to hear, and that's how it's been for the last 2.5 centuries, and it's gone pretty well.
at least you're pretty. She doesn't say that out loud. She thinks it loudly.
I was about to say, like, oh, she doesn't have a gift of gab.
Well, yeah, at least I'm pretty.
This guy's a dumbass.
Shut up, fanfic brain.
Alright, so full transparency. I'm not sure if the other cities are going to react to this. I'm not sure if they're even aware, so I'm going to assume that they don't know. And if they come a-calling, I'll deal with it. But it sounds like there's a lot of stuff about to go down. You keep mentioning Morganath. That's... we're closer to that than most cities, so if things are about to go down, I want to be prepared for the people, so, what can we do to help?
Well, this has already been a very illuminating conversation. We now know more about the branches of Palor than we previously did. I suppose, if the time came when... See, I'm not... Okay, that is one question I had. I'm trying to get my thoughts in order. Is there a known branch of Palor potentially in Morganath?
Ooh, what a time to get a natural 20. He takes a second, just sort of... You can see, like... The wheels are turning as he thinks back. From my best recollection, the branches of Palor were only set up in the mortal cities across Rhódania. It was for mortals to have easier access across the world, because the gods didn't need it because they were gods. They could just go hitherto where they wished. So I don't believe so, no.
Okay. Is there then perhaps a map with known location? Well, okay, she is going to pull out her map. And she's just going to, like, is there a way to mark locations of potential branches, wherever they may be? You said something about Demethrin. We've never been there ourselves, but perhaps there's one there.
I mean, talk about political upset. I'm not sure. Have you heard about what's happened in Demethrin? There's a whole lot.
Not too much. It sounded devastating.
It was... Well, I mean, we're still trying to get a clear picture, but within the last, I don't know, few weeks, it sounds like half of Demethrin's gone missing, has sunk into the sea, some sort of terrible event, apparently not like a convergence event, which was our first thought, that it was something different. Not quite sure what, but it's a whole other thing. But there are refugees coming to the continent now. This is diplomatic relations that have never existed between the two continents, and that is so much paperwork, let me tell you. It is so much paperwork. I'm so glad I have a team to do that for me, because I don't have the mental capacity to deal with stuff like that. So there's that. Yes, give me a moment. And he takes out a quill and looks over your map, as I bring out my map, just for reference.
I guess I could just put thumbtacks and red string in it if I needed to.
Hey, we're one step closer to that Charlie Day meme.
Yep.
We're gonna make it happen. Gonna need a bigger version of that. Okay, so he takes the next couple of minutes to start, like, putting little X's on parts of the map, which, I mean, he rolled a nat 20. So I'm going to say he is able to accurately recall, to his knowledge of the last 250 years, where he had heard where these branches were. So, you have, obviously, one in Zundanag, which you know about.
Mm-hmm.
One in Old Berthy, which is the old part of the city, which is just on the outskirts. There's barely anything of that left. It's mostly ruins. It was basically... The city was rebuilt after the original War of Fire, which is like 5,000 years ago. That's a whole thing. There was one in the city of Etheriond, which is the capital city. There was one in the city of Briathalond, which no longer exists as that was convergenced away, and in its place now stands the city of Caithern.
Oh, okay.
There was one in Lecky, the city of Coin. There's one in the city of Inyath, which is where all the tieflings come from, all the sexy ones that Fronir obsesses over. There is one in the city of Engor Thul, which is in the far south. The nearest one to Zundinag, actually.
Mm.
And with a natural 20, Reese, you see he puts an X on the Isle of Galea. And then he sits back in his chair. Yes, that's about as much as I remember. As far as I know, they were all deconstructed. Much like ours was, of course. Wink, wink. But I'm pretty sure theirs are, but I don't know.
When were they deconstructed?
Oh, it was following the initial convergence event. It was about 8 years ago. Not too long ago, in the grand scheme of things.
So they were deconstructed 8 years ago.
Yes, that's when the agreement was made between the cities to... basically, there was an invasion from the people known as the Karamoon. They were a race of dragonborn folk that had been locked away from the War of Fire. This was... if someone made a Dungeons and Dragons campaign about this would have been the first campaign, if that makes any sense. Ignore that. That's political jargon. You're not meant to understand it. Gift of gab.
Not how the gab works.
Nice reference. But yes, so it was decided that after all that was dealt with, I believe it was dealt with in Berthy in particular, myself and the other leaders all met in Etheriond, and we had a sort of closed council meeting, and it was decided that to prevent a further misuse of these very, very powerful things, they were to be dismantled. I just didn't want to, so I told them we did, but I wanted to study them further, which is what we've been doing for the last 8 years. Not learned a great deal, unfortunately. We couldn't even turn it on, and then, the other day your friend turned it on, so that kind of restarted things a little bit.
Moving past the lack of truth, or honesty, sorry. Your communications with the Isle of Galea for several thousand years was cut off.
Yes, that's correct. It was always a story that there was a branch of Paylor there. We've not had communications, so we've never been able to confirm nor deny that. But the old teachings from generations passed down was that there was indeed a branch there. but that's all we know. We don't know whereabouts it is. We don't even have a map of the island here, so we know nothing about Galea, just the stories. It would be wonderful to have one, or to meet someone from there, in fact. That would be most fascinating.
I agree. It would be very fascinating. So you say that there's possibly a branch of Palor there that is possibly not deconstructed because you guys didn't have conversation with them. It was just the mainland cities that deconstructed their...
Well, yes, for as long as we've been aware, Galea's been protected by some sort of mystical barrier, so we just sort of leave them to it, I suppose.
Interesting.
But yes, this is to my best knowledge where I believe the branch locations to have been. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Then, during your research... Okay. I'm putting 2 and 2 together because he'd never even heard of the Shadowfell. And I might... Okay, I'll just add that perhaps the next leg of our journey could be used to contribute to the research a little bit, especially given I'm from a plane of existence that you were not previously aware of.
Yes, I haven't even begun to process that. That's a whole. I'll figure that out another time.
So we have some time before we must be off, but if there is such a person in the palace for such things, I would be willing to share my recollections so that the Palace of Zundanarg can be even a little bit aware of the Shadowfell.
I would never say no to anything that benefits my beloved people of Zundanarg.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
18.
18. He is a politician through and through.
I don't like him.
He will do what it takes to stay elected.
My eyes squint for half a moment.
Well, is there any other way that we might stay in contact with you while we are traveling?
I suppose. Do you have magical means of contact, or
I think she's gonna take out her expended sending stone, take one look at the food platter spread that's now been blessed, and just perhaps the palace would be willing to spare a sending stone, or perhaps many.
Reginald? You see that Reginald comes over, and now you get a proper look at Reginald. He's quite a well-dressed, well-maintained half-orc. Quite slim build, looks to be sort of in the latter half of middle age. Has a very pristine and clean monocle up to one eye. Reginald, do we have any of those? pointing at the sending stone. Oh, you mean a sending stone, sire? Well, yes, of course. That is but one of the many things we have here. Can we get them some so they can talk to us? You know, when they have things to report back. It's much quicker than a letter, you know. But of course, High Magistrate. I won't be a moment. And he begins to walk off. Fine man, Reginald. Fine man. Yes.
All right, then I think that's the limit of my questions. She'll turn to Reese and just, did you have anything that you wanted to ask?
I have something I would like to ask at this time. Wes, how long does your invisibility last?
An hour.
It's getting close to an hour.
Poke on the shoulder. I think my juice is running out here. So if you guys want to ask anything, go ahead. I can wait for you at the door. I don't have any questions for him. He's an idiot.
Okay. Be safe.
Thank you. And just scuttle back off to the door.
I do have a question. So, since one of our compatriots were the reason why this has been reactivated, if any other location is currently still in existence, would you allow us a time to bring him back in to be able to experiment to see if this would be a viable way of transportation? A small experiment, especially one that you and your researchers will be able to study.
Now, here's the thing. It has the potential to cause some upset with the Ethereons. It has the potential to expand our horizons and our knowledge. But most importantly, I'm ever so fucking curious. Yes, bring him around at some point, and of course.
Okay. Can I have that in writing?
Yes, of course. Takes out his quill again and some parchment, and in the most lavish, awful doctor's handwriting that has ever existed in the fantasy world of Rhódania, proceeds to write it all out in writing. I, High Magistrate Dothran Mai, first of his name, Lord of Olzendenarg, lover of the people, loved by the people, do hereby solemnly swear that to the best of mine ability will acquiesce to assist the Wyld Ones in their continued investigations into the Great Reconvergence, the branches of Paylor, and all matters containing international security, at the behest of the people of Zundanarg. He's even put like ... after people, just to give it that dramatic pause.
As I take it and roll it up, just in my head, this guy is pompous. All right. Is there anything I need to sign? Are we good? Is this good? This is good. Yes.
No, it has my seal. It is our word is bond.
Fantastic.
How many sending stones do we get?
He comes back with one sending stone. But it is not a one-use only sending stone, so I think it will be quite sufficient.
Okay. Something.
Reich, would you like to be the keeper of the stone?
Yes, please.
Well, I think that is it for us. Unless you have any specific questions or curiosities or requests.
Do you know? Actually, I do have one. In about 3.5 weeks' time, there's going to be a big speech where it's coming up to election season, and I would really appreciate an endorsement from the Wyld Ones for my next campaign. So, it's no pressure, but if you can come in about 3.5 weeks' time and just join me on stage and say, yes, Dothram Mine's my kind of guy, then that would just be swell.
We will have our people call your people.
Spoken like a true politician. Yes. Wonderful.
I think she's just gonna about face after that. Roll up the map, tuck the sending stone in her back.
Sometimes I forget Frake was born into that life. Adieu.
Ta-ta. As he just continues eating the rest of the food platter that has been left.
I ate all the meat. There's no meat.
He's happy enough. So as you exit the room, heading back out to where the stairway is, Wes, you've been waiting by the door?
Yes, and I think as the two of them get closer, they will know Wes is there by the loud grumbling of the stomach as he had to watch the food and could not partake.
Yep.
We'll get you some gravy rings on the way back.
That's all I could ask for. That was an exhausting conversation. I'm so sorry. I thought they would be more useful.
Well, we learned some things. She'll tap the map, and we have locations of where the branches might be, and that is helpful. Although clearly, that is a nice plan, but I'm glad we have Plan B. And she'll tap the stone in reference to Madeline.
Interesting. Those are the only known locations. We're smarter than the magistrate. I mean,
Wes.
not that we weren't already, but we're still smarter. Yes.
Roll me a d20.
Natural 20.
Nope.
A natural 20. Okay. That's a good roll. That rumbling in your stomach, you have about 2.5 minutes before the invisibility wears off.
Okay, let's talk on the gate. Go, 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 go. And just you feel like a slight push on your back, almost like on the butt cheeks because he's so small. Okay, come on, come on, come on.
She will, at that, she will turn around and just pick him up, put him back on her back, and enter the gate.
Okay.
Excuse you.
As we're
You
leaving,
are excused.
As we're leaving, I'd like to look at the branch of Paylor.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like? Is it like a stone gate?
Yeah, so it's like a large stone gateway that is incredibly old. It looks like bits of it are indeed missing. People have clearly been tinkering with it. It's in a cordoned off area. There's little bits of plant life growing from some of the gaps in the stonework as well. It's a very old stone gateway.
Can I do a history check to see if I remember seeing anything like it on the Isle of Galea?
Go ahead and give me a
Back
history
home.
check.
$21.
21.
That's a natural 17.
With a 21, you take the moment just to think back. And you begin to remember something. It's like a memory that you haven't thought about for a very long time. But it starts coming through very, very clearly. You do indeed recall just seeing a similar structure. And it's almost like you're reliving that memory. But we're going to go to break first before we find out what's happening with that. So, do stick around as we take a slight detour in time with our dear friend Reese into memories past. And first, before we do cut to break, a word from our sponsor for tonight's session. See you shortly. We return to tonight's session as Moglivar the Abhorrent stands before you all in the ruins of the palace. Your spell slots are spent, and now I cast blindness upon you all.
Oh no! Blindness? How am I ever going to be able to see where I am? My longbow attacks are useless now.
It's okay, I can cast... Oh, wait. Nope. Gotta be able to see my opponent within range, and I'm blind, so...
Damn it, I used all my wild shapes already. How can I call lightning when I can't bloody see?
Wait, can I still get sneak attack if I'm blind? Because if not, I will riot.
Fear not, my fellow adventurers. I will call upon my majestic powers from my page.
Do you mean patron? Because isn't that a warlock thing? Or...
I call upon the mighty Chepeki to grant us some clear sights for epic maps.
Wait, no, Chepeku, my mortal enemy!
Chepeki.
Chepeku?
Paku?
Peku?
Chepeku?
Yes, that's right, Chepeku. Chepeku create unique and original worlds with outlandish themes and ideas you won't find anywhere else. Their archive is bursting with more than 4,000 hand-drawn maps, with new map packs added every week. Just head over to their Patreon, choose the Master Cartographer membership level, and you can get access to the whole lot. Join Chepeku today and get your adventures started. This is day 474. Dr. Samuel Carver recording, as always. As of this day, we are officially on our own. Communication has been reduced to local transmissions within a mile of base camp. Word has not yet reached our ears of any potential rescue. Even less word of a cure. Hope continues to dwindle. It's strange to think back to the days before, watching America consume itself on the news and thinking, it'll never reach here. How wrong we were. Our supplies will probably last us another week at best. But with the long nights of winter on the horizon, the danger escalates further. If you were to ask me my honest opinion, we have 72 hours at best. So, if you're hearing this message, then rescue has arrived all too late for us. But, to the few who remain, against all odds, I wish you luck. And remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light.
The world has changed. The coming of calamity and those who rose up against it. Victory was gained, but at a cost. The lone swordsman lays dormant. The country without rule. A people fractured under the anxiety of what is yet to come. But within these fractured lands is something thought lost to time, but not lost, merely patiently waiting. And now, with no champions left standing, there will be no will other than mine. Renounce your petty gods and worship me, for I am Majora. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
Welcome back, dear friends, to the Rhódania Chronicles on Monday night here on Quest Junkies. We rejoin our friends just as they are on their way out of the palace of Zundanarg. But before we do that...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Reese, you're looking at the branch of Paylor and you're trying to see if you recognize it from your time back home, as you've now just been told that there is a belief that one of these branches of Paylor does indeed exist there. And you bury yourself within your memories as time around you seems to stand still. And you get lost in your mind, thinking back, all the way back. And you do indeed remember seeing a similar structure in a similar sort of condition as well. This is a memory from, I'd say, about 8 years ago. Standing in a clearing back home in Galea. One of your many treks away from the mountain rift through the Caspatan mountain range. Can't quite remember why you were out this particular day. But for the benefit of the players and the audience, how would Reese look 8 years ago?
8 years ago. That would make Reese quite young. If I remember right. Then make him between 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So he's probably looking like a proper kitten tabaxi. Dressed in similar blue. Not yet any of the orangey yellow color, though. Hidden underneath. Big eyes. Looking around. He's probably trailing his father, who's trying to teach him something. Probably has like a teeny tiny bow or a dagger on his hip or something.
Yeah. And you are indeed following your father through the Caspatan Mountains. It's one of many journeys that you've taken with him. This particular one, you recall climbing to this high peak. And it's a real struggle to get up this last bit, but your father reaches a hand down and pulls you up, lifting you right up onto his shoulder. As he does. And then turns around and just points off in the distance and says, "There. Do you see it?" And you follow his hand where it's pointing. Can you give me a perception check, please? You can use your current stats, it's fine.
I have advantage. Well, no, I don't have advantage.
Oh, I'll give you advantage because he's pointing you in the right direction.
Okay, cool, bet. Thanks. Yes, much better. That is a natural 19 for a 25.
Natural 19 for a 25. Okay, amazing. So you follow where his arm is pointing, and you see, like, at this point, you're at one of the highest peaks of Galea. You can see the majority of the island from where you're stood. And in the direction that he's pointing, off to the right-hand side, you see a little village which is known as Heaven's Gate. Now, this is a village of the area which you were always told to keep clear of. These were the people of the island who weren't aware of your settlement, and you liked to keep it that way. They were outsiders. But following his pointing finger down the center, you see the ruins that you've been looking for this journey. The ruins of Madlun. Mhadlun. There it is. These were our forebearers. The first people to make grace with the gods. When you're old enough, and the time comes for you to take my position, you'll make your first journey there. And that, my son, is when you will officially take my mantle and protect our people and our lands under the grace of the gods. Does it scare you, the future?
I mean, it's so big. How could it not be scary?
That is true. But what you must understand is that fear doesn't have to debilitate. It can be used to enhance. It can be a power that you can build off. The world is a big place. That means there's opportunity for big change. I have done much for our people and for our land. But it is your destiny to do more. You will be the mist that protects our people in the mountains, much like your namesake.
I'm not ready for it right now.
But of course, you are but 10 years of age. This is not a challenge for you for now. We have all the time in the world to get you there. When I was your age, I had barely left the mountain rift. You have already transcended beyond my beginnings.
What is that thing?
The ruins.
I knew you said that we made grace, but like, what does that mean? Made grace with the gods. Why did we need to be in their graces in the first place?
Because generations ago, when the gods first decided to create mortal life, they did not start at their seat of power, they started here. They started with us. We are the first people. We will always be the first people. You are the first people.
If we were the first, then why are there so many others? Did we do something wrong that make more?
No. The gods are forever creating, forever adapting. They live to create, and to destroy, and to rebuild, and to redesign. There are others, of course, but they exist for different reasons. They are charged with different tasks. They don't have our sacred duty. They never could. And there may come a day. There may come a day, my son. And he continues pointing, but he stretches his hand out even further towards the structure that you are thinking back to. There may come a day, probably not in my time, but in yours, where we may step out into the wider world and once again be at the side of the gods once more. For they have shielded us from danger, as you are well aware. But I feel a change in the winds. Now, let's head back before it starts to get dark. And he turns around. You take one last look towards the ruins, towards the branch of Palor. And just before you return to the present moment, make me one last perception check.
Uh, 13.
13. Good enough. You notice one last thing before you return to the present moment. As you are turned around to head back, you look off towards Heaven's Gate, towards the open ocean, where the barrier that protects the island stands forevermore. And you, even with a 13, you see this because this is very much out of the ordinary. You see a ship. Docked just a little bit down from where Heaven's Gate is. Almost looks like a newer version of a certain skycarver. But in the water. As you come back to the present moment, just as the group heads around the corner and... Wes! Your invisibility wears off. Just in the nick of time. You have managed to evade prying eyes.
We can see you now. You're muted also.
I didn't provide any public indecency in the past few minutes, have I?
Why would you?
I see no moon. You're good.
Whew. And just kind of slide down Frike's back. That was the High Magistrate?
Apparently.
Eye on something.
Let's
No
not
wonder
talk
Connor
about
had to
it.
leave.
Did you guys ever, like, when you and Connell were kids, was there anyone else in that position that was different?
Well, I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever been to Zundanark, so
Oh. Okay. Maybe looks a little forlorn at that because she wishes she could ask Connell, but
well,
But pulling out the sending stone, she is going to message Rhódania.
A message for Rhódania, okay.
We're outside the palace. Where are you plus moms? That's it.
That's it, okay. Very concise. It takes a few moments, but you do eventually hear the familiar dulcet tones of your Felice Circle of Stars friend, Rhódania.
So I'm guessing it went well. That's good. Wes not arrested? Tell him I've got him some fish muffins, okay? We're heading home now. Been shopping.
That's it.
Meet you there. We have info. Wes not arrested.
You just get, oh, thank fuck for that.
Alright, and we're off.
Okay. And start heading back to the house. It's probably sort of getting to just after lunch, early afternoon at this point. I'm sure Wes's stomach is grumbling quite loud at this point after missing out on a lot of food so far. But thankfully, as you return, the moms and Rhódania are there unpacking. They've been to the markets and they've picked up quite a lot of groceries and the aforementioned fish muffins that have been acquired. And everything is just sort of presented out and...
So, how did it go?
It
The
went.
magistrate was something.
Oh, is he like really dreamy and like really helpful and resourceful? And I bet he was like really knowledgeable.
Until he opened his mouth. Kind of. But we learned a lot.
I bet you did by the sound of it. Was he good looking at least?
One of these.
Yeah.
Reese, you were saying?
I wasn't saying anything. He was useless.
Poor Reese got the wind knocked out of him. Poor guy was a bit airheaded you know?
No, I don't know. I wasn't there, so missing a bit of context. So
He's an idiot.
what?
That's the context.
He was terrible. Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm.
Well, he is a politician. So, what did you find out about these branches? What's the plan?
Unrolling the map. Well, wherever there are X's on the map are locations of possible branches of Palor, so there are a lot. She's going to review the events of their day, talk about the context they gave him and the interesting insight they got in return, and so basically what my thinking is that, like, this Branches of Palor was a nice thought, but they were kind of suspicious that one of them got activated by Wes, because these branches are only used during wartime.
Oh, that's the last thing we need. To be named war criminals.
Like a stern look over
Yeah.
at Wes.
Although, from the sound of it, it was more on them, because this guy did seem worried that, like, the people of Ethereum would find out that, like, more branches are active than, like, they claimed. So he was maybe also irresponsible.
Oh, so what I'm getting from this, right, is that we've got a sketchy politician that we now have dirt on, so we could blackmail him, maybe.
He wants an endorsement. So if we give it to him, he's gonna have to give a lot more to us.
Yeah,
I
like
think-
a wild brew endorsement, maybe. Well, then we'll talk.
I mean, we can talk about it. We can think about it. But I don't like the idea of being in that guy's pocket. Or him in ours, for that matter. I'm good.
What, was he really small? Was he like pocket sized? Like Pocket Goth Mummy?
Yes.
Oh. Fascinating.
Very small.
No.
He would fit in your pocket. Very small.
It's incredible, actually. You should see how small this guy is.
Speaking of which, Wes, I got you a gift, and I'll throw the letter from the guy at him.
Oh. Oh. Reese, you didn't have to. But I don't know how I feel about him with this ostentatious signature.
The
Ugh.
entire thing is ostentatious. The guy was a pompous asshole, and you think... Anyway. Happy birthday. I don't know when your birthday is, but happy birthday.
This is the best gift I've received in years. And he just gives you a quick hug. We have dirt on him.
We kind of do.
Yeah. And it's in writing.
See this? We don't need to go to Zundanark for this. I've got friends in the Feingrad Society near Athond. We might have a better shot there with people who actually know what magic they're playing with. This, he'll roll it back up, hand it back to the group, is our dirt on Mr. Endorsement.
It's also our ticket in and out of the palace when we want.
Oh, good point. We should probably use that palace for something. Goodness knows they aren't.
As long as we do shit. Like, we can't just walk in and, like, chill by the fireplace. Like, no.
Like, Frodia walks over, is like,
Can I take a look at that?
and she
Sure.
takes it, unravels it, like,
Oh my god, that handwriting's atrocious. How are you supposed to read that? Okay.
I mean, his is so nice you can't read it. Yours is chicken scratch, you can't read it. It's fine.
Hey,
balances
big
out.
man. I'll have less of that, thank you.
Chicken scratch is chicken scratch.
It's offensive to chickens, can't say that.
Cat scratch.
Alright, so what I'm getting from this... Oh, he's fucked up. He's fucked up big time. We don't need the dirt on him. Because you know what this says? If you read it, you know what it says?
It's a lot of big words.
It
Princess
says...
Flora, would you like to elaborate?
I certainly will, dear, thank you. It says that the Wyld Ones can have assistance with anything they want. So what I see that as is... This city's our bitch now. We could just, like, get them to give us the money or, like, fancy weapons or something. We could have a sky carver.
Pulls out
Again.
the sending stone.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh. Awesome.
Okay. If we abuse this, we become different types of criminals. We don't want that to happen. Now we can abuse it responsibly.
Abuse it responsibly. That sounds like it. Should we make that the Wild Brew slogan? What do you think,
No.
team? What do you think?
Yes?
We can workshop it, but I think it's a good start. We'll definitely need to put some warning labels on it.
We'll write it down.
Put a gold pin in that.
Alright, okay.
Okay. So we can go study the branches of Palor, but we need to go talk to Madeline.
Mm-hmm. Can the city pay for the upgrade? The provisions for Madeline Crowley?
Wes! You could get them to make you a new lab while we're gone. We could come back and you could have like a brand new, like, state-of-the-art facility.
That's nice, but then where would you put all of your little moonflowers and everything else that went along with it?
Well, they could make a fucking greenhouse as well or something, I don't know.
That's the word. I forgot the word greenhouse. A garden attachment, I said.
I mean, I don't
Wes, you're
understand
not
why they
gonna
call
be
it... Go on.
Sorry for Rhódania. Wes, you're not going to be sleeping on the couch. Get them
What's
to
wrong with the
rebuild.
couch?
You didn't sleep.
How did you know?
I talk with the goddess of the moon. I know. Plus, you were up before I was, and we were on the same roof last night. You didn't sleep.
Yeah. I guess I didn't, did I? And just another loud bellowing of the stomach growling. Didn't eat either.
Well, that's why I got you some of these. And she just throws a fish muffin at you. Let's have a look. What's your AC?
16.
Okay. She rolls a 21. You won't take any damage, but you do get a fish muffin to the face.
I smell it as it sails by my face.
It's pretty good.
Fish muffins? I said get muffins for the halibut, not halibut muffins.
Ah. That sounds like a metaphor that went way over my head.
Mine too.
No, because I'm little cat, not big cat.
It's actually quite funny. I know my fish. That's not halibut fish anyway, so, like, you failed in getting it. That was tilapia.
Tilapia? I hardly knew her.
Oh, right. That was the name of your girlfriend, right?
She
Which
seems
one?
fishy.
I can't do the trademark for only a giggle. The my giggle.
Love it.
So, okay. Is there anything else we need to do in the city? We need to go talk to Madeline, or at least send her a message, let her know that we're going to be flying with her.
Next is?
Sleep.
Oh, we have 2 things.
I don't know. What else are we doing?
We need to, like, not blow a ship up this time as well. Like, I'm a bit worried about that.
So we need to get a contract with her to let her know that we're not going to be doing shit, and we're going to be part of the crew. So we stay out of baloney.
Oh, I've just had a terribly brilliant idea.
Above table, stepping into a player's position for a second in my own game, which is weird. Do any of us have proficiency with the forgery kit by any chance?
Nope.
No.
Wait. Hold on.
I can.
No.
I can.
Okay. I'm going to suggest something that's probably going to be a headache for me later, but, fuck it.
Alright, if we're gonna set up a contract, what we could do is tie it in with the thing that politician boys just give us, so that any damage that is inadvertently caused to the ship, the big boss man of Zundanark has to pay for. We're not liable.
Well,
Because
I know
we have
Madeline was a...
We have a signature. Just put that on there and it's all good.
I know Madeline was a pirate before, but is she really going to be on board with this? We're writing a contract, and a clause of that contract includes extorting a politician, if I have that correct.
I don't know, I mean, she always seems like she writes different kinds of contracts, but I don't know, that's something else.
That's
Would this blow back on the people of Zindanarg? Or is it going to be... Because he gets his money from taxes. So technically...
Wait, are we supposed to be paying taxes now?
we own property or is gifted to us. I don't know. We could ask him.
I mean, if they've forgotten, then, and we ask them, then they remember, then we have to pay. So if we don't ask and they forget, then...
And it goes to collections, and I don't want to deal with collections either.
Let's go talk to Madeline. One thing at a time.
Well, that's a good point. Our ostentatious friend has some very ostentatious language. So it wouldn't have to come from the taxpayers. It could come from the High Magistrate's personal vault on behalf of the people of Zundanarg who he serves. So the taxpayers get saved, and we can extort him if anything had to happen to the Discourteous Rose. And I've got the kit to do it. That way, we've got one politician out of the way, and the free peoples can stay free.
Do you think Connell likes the High Barrister, whatever he's called?
Because
he's from here.
He's not going to stop us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Rock Boy's got surprises waiting for him when he comes back.
He can scold us when he gets back. It's fine.
If he can.
Ooh.
Well, do we want to forge this now before we hand it over to Madeline, or do we slip it before we get on board the Discourteous Rose?
both at the same time, so like maybe we just divide this into tasks. Like one of us forages, and then one of us writes the contract, and then one of us looks it over. Teamwork.
And I make the tea.
I'm gonna bow out on this. Because we already, like, dropped the ship from mid-flight. Physical damage is not like political damage or getting her in trouble with the state. I don't think I could do that to her. You guys forge it. I'm gonna stay out of it.
Just one question. How? How did it drop from the sky? What did you do?
Oh, that. So basically, what happened is, right, Connell. It was all Connell's fault. He's not here to defend himself, so I can say this.
Exactly.
No, Connell.
Rhódania.
Well, no, it's Connell. So we were making some
Zone of
tricks.
Truth.
Oh, fuck. What's the save against Zone of Truth?
Hold on, I need to go find it.
I need to bring up a character sheet. We're doing this.
Zone of Truth. Charisma 13.
Charisma 13. 13 on the die. Let me see if she has a minus modifier.
I know she succeeds.
Hang on. Let's see if she's
know
got a
whether
minus.
each creature succeeds or fails.
Let's have a look. Rhódania. Charisma saving throw. Modifier of 0. So she just succeeds.
But I know.
You know.
So what happened was...
Also?
Yeah, you guys are in the zone. It's a 15-foot zone of truth, so...
Right, sorry, let's carry on.
Charisma 13.
Just like a straight charisma check.
Natural 1 for Wes. Here we go.
That's 2 natural ones in a row.
2.
And a 2. Oh no. This is about to get messy.
Wait, hold on.
So,
Okay.
so what happened is, right, so we were on the ship, and we were going to Roshan's Rise, and we were having a bit of a nice time, you know. Bob was with us, he was chatting up the bartender, and, like, there was a jazz band on, it was cool, and we were like, oh, well, the bartender's off snogging Bob or something, so let's go make some drinks. So me and Connell, we went behind the bar, and I was like, should we have a little wee shotty of wild brew in the cocktail we were making? And Connell, like, and for the record, this is the absolute God's honest truth. Like, Connell said, oh, let's do a Zundenargen shot. I was like, no, that's a lot, Connell. He said, no, let's do a Zundenargen shot. So that, they glug, 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 and then ship go down.
You're leaving something out.
I beg your pardon? What was I leaving out?
The Malexor.
That's the stuff that's in the wild brew. That's what he said. Zundenargen shot.
I thought the wild brew has a mother, much like kombucha, but it is honestly created through generations of said culture from Malexor, not Malexor directly. You put dripper droppers of Malexor in.
Well, depends how fucked up we want to get. We were celebrating.
Rhódania.
I mean, Wes, what do you think? Based on what I've just told you now, if you were to be completely truthful for whatever reason right now, how would you, like, see that situation?
Boy, the back of my head feels funny. Fronia, you can do no wrong. And I believe every word that you said.
See? Fantastic. What about you, Frank?
About this situation? About what exactly?
Well, I was just accused of misappropriating the truth about the last journey on the Skycarver.
It was the Malexor, and it was in the Wild Brew, and we did pour it into the Wild Brew, and it gave off that weird pulse. And everyone tried to keep the ship afloat, but I was too weak at the time to do anything else but try to save people's lives because I felt not strong enough to save an entire ship.
No, you're not weak. No, we're not having that, no.
I was at the time, I'm not now.
Damn right you're not now. Wait, so what's going on here?
The only weak one is me. I can't hold my drinks, and I pretend to drink a lot so that people will like me. Wow, that was weird.
Big Cat, what's going on?
What?
Don't you give me that look. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. Do I have Detect Magic? I do. I'm casting Detect Magic. I don't know why I'm rolling the dice. I don't need to. Can you tell I don't play druids?
You cast Detect Magic, and she can see the Zone of Truth aura emanating from it.
You've casted something.
Oh, no, she knows. Like, if she saves from it, she knows that I cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. Gift of Gap.
What are you doing casting stuff?
What do you do lying? What are you hiding? Why do you have to feel like you have to impress Mr. Wonderboy over there?
It's cute when she lies. Wow, my bad.
I don't know what you possibly mean by that.
Well, I know she likes him.
We all know she likes him.
Yeah, I've known for a while.
I'm sorry, Mai.
How do you feel about Rhódania?
Oh, wow.
What does this go for? How long does this go for? 10 minutes.
That's a really complicated and pointed question. Because I have a long and complicated answer. But it's not something that I think anyone will like.
No listening, no
Do you
listening,
like
no
her?
listening.
The truth.
I think so.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'm just
Just a
going
minute.
I'm going to get some more fish muffins and
Okay.
She just
Bye, Rhódania.
runs out.
Well, I'm glad she's not here because I can't make her a priority right now. I've got other things on my mind, but she's kind of fun. A lot of fun. Wow, the back of
Question.
my head.
If Zone of Truth is active, can you leave the Zone of Truth?
You can leave the Zone of Truth.
She's going to head upstairs, out of the Zone of Truth.
Okay.
I'll also leave the Zone of Truth.
It's just leaving Wes in the Zone of Truth. Just monologuing.
Are you guys all leaving me again because I'm annoying? Oh, wow. My head.
No, we're leaving literally the zone that you are currently in. Just walk away. Just go.
Okay. Truthfully, it gives me a nice tingly feeling, and I don't want to leave until it stops.
I'll walk back in. I save. I will chuck him out.
Let's have a
Is it
contest
like a
to strength
grapple and a
check.
throw?
Yeah.
Strength check.
Well, due to squat nimbleness,
I do
I
not
get
have.
advantage.
I don't have great strength, but that's an 18.
Due to squat nimbleness, I do have advantage on anyone who tries to grapple or throw me. That's going to be a 27.
Bet.
Oh. You cannot resist the tingles. You can't. He's going to take you away from the tingles.
Cat, can we not have a repeat of the first time we met? I really like this tingly feeling, okay? Like, I respect the heck out of you, and I make fun of you so I can get your attention, but it's just really tough to focus on this.
This whole thing that you're going through is my fault. I can't say the truth.
Clever girl. That's what this was.
God, you're as pompous as he is. Okay, you know what? You enjoy the tingles, because apparently that feels good to you. And I'm gonna go take a nap.
Okay, I'll probably wake you up when you least expect it.
If you do, I will guiding bolt you.
That also felt good.
Then prepare.
I hope this doesn't awaken something in Wes.
Wes is a masochist.
Oh dear. Oh god, Mai's just returned in the chat. Mai.
Oh boy.
That was them, alright? I tried to react accordingly, but yeah. You're gonna want to pick all that up next time. You goddamn wild ones. So, Frony goes to go grab some more fish muffins and try and pretend that the last 10 minutes never happened of conversation. Frike left to go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything in particular that you're doing?
Returning to her room. I haven't written this stuff out yet, but I'll write you some messages to send.
Okay. So we'll come back to that then. So Reese is going for a nap, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'm taking a short rest?
Yep.
Okay. So that leaves us with Wes enjoying the remainder of the tingles from the zone of truth cast upon him.
And I think once it drops... oh, shit. Oh, I'm gonna kill him. Problems for another time. I would like to use this time to cast, sending through the sending stone that I have, a message to Lady Irma.
Interesting. Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna do this off the cuff. No count, no nothing. We're gonna hope for the best.
Alright.
Lady Irma, it is a pleasure to speak with you again. Can I ask that you speak to the Feingrats for help with Branch's Paylor? 25 words.
Okay. A couple of moments pass. Eventually a response does come back to you. Young Westerly, it's been some time. Curious. Branches of Palo. I can speak to them. Very curious. Don't be a stranger. That's it.
Whew. Good. They'll do the work, I can't. Okay. Let's go wake up Big Cat. We'll just cut this.
Alright. So after I imagine, because that didn't take very long, Reese just gets to the point where he's comfy and just beginning to drift off. I'm going to ask Wes to make a stealth check to see if you can beat a passive perception, which I believe is 21.
Gonna need to be high.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
What did you get?
Nope. 14.
Okay.
Okay. So just as you get cozy, Reese, your ears prick up as you hear the squeak of the door. And the light footfalls you've become very familiar with. You know exactly what's happening here. You know who's coming in.
I'm gonna prepare to cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. So where's... Well, actually, let's say, are you... You want to appear like you're still asleep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Give me
I haven't moved.
Give me a performance check. Or performance or deception, your choice.
It doesn't matter. It's a nat 1.
So as as you walk into the room, Wes, you look directly at where Reese is and you see the ears go and turn slightly. He doesn't move, but you see that the ears react.
Waiting for me. Okay. We'll just carefully try to walk back. Carefully try to walk back. Then try to carefully close the door. But it's a little loud and just clunks. And that's intentional.
Yeah.
You could have done better. I'll cast Knock. Just make it uber loud.
A loud knocking sound, heard 300 feet away, emanates from the room.
For flavor, can we say that knocks Wes off his feet and into the wall?
Sure, why not?
Knock, knock, bitch. Now go to bed.
Oh, I want to put that on a t-shirt.
Knock, knock, bitch.
Okay. Frike, how are we doing?
Okay, so the first, I have two. First sending is, and I did use a word counter.
Hey.
Did you get my note? I'm sorry again. Nothing happened with me and Astarion. Turns out we are alike. Look forward to seeing you again. To Madeline.
Note received. Glad you're okay. I'm fine. More weirded out than anything. Long as you're okay. Sounds like we should talk. That's it.
Okay. I don't mind. Okay. One more. I'm gonna get greedy with these. Eamon. Trying this again.
Okay.
It's me, Frike. Have been living in Zundanarg, but not for much longer. Reach out if you are safe. Miss you.
Okay. There's There's a bit of a delay in the response, but the response does come back to you. Right? Is this a trick? Because they told me you went home. Not sure what to believe. Miss you more? And it has that inflection as well. Kind of like a... You hear like the unease in the voice. And that's it.
But I can reply this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think drawing from a particular memory that the two of them once shared. Okay. Word counter!
This session of Quest Junkies brought to you by Word Counter. Never fail your sending spells ever again. I mean, I will point out.
We'll count it.
I will point out for the people at home, there is no reason to say that you have to use 25 words. 25 words is just what you're allowed. But it is fun making sure you use 25 words. It's usually very chaotic. So, for those of you newer to D&D and stuff, like, I would recommend you trying to fill every single word, because it is fun.
Okay. Then I guess 20 words. Drawing from a memory that they would both know. I still remember the field of marigolds. You taught me the splendor of sunrise when each petal catches the light.
There's a long pause. I haven't seen marigolds since then. Frike. I don't know where Zundanag is, but I'll find it. In a place called Cathramand. That's it.
Okay. Okay, wow. Okay. Okay. Well.
Just a random place, nothing really.
Yeah, checks beneath the post-it note. Okay. Okay, okay.
Anything else?
Yes, that is quite far. I'm in Rhódania. headed to Irion, then Morganath. I'll be in touch soon.
The last response is 4 words. And it's actually the last 4 words he said the last time you saw him. Stay safe. Brave heart. And that's it.
I think we'll leave it at that.
Okay. Anything else from anyone before we wrap up for tonight? I've just in the time.
Well,
Pretty solid. Oh,
I have one thing.
Okay.
At the end of my little cat nap, I'll pull out my journal and I will recount the remembering of the memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then take note on where the branch of Palor is in Galea.
Yeah.
Then I'll close my journal. And that's it.
Okay. And with that, I'll say our final scene for the night. Rhódania is currently sat on her own in Connell's room. The room that she's specifically keeping for when he returns. She's looking around. Looks to be in a very deep, contemplative mood. And in her hand, she's holding her little book. Okay. Now or never. She gets up off the bed, leaves the room, shuts the door, locks it, pockets the key, heads down the corridor, knocks on the door to the room that Rhódania's mum is staying in. Come in! She opens the door. Ah, my dear. You okay? You want some tea or something? And she stands in the doorway, holds up the book. We got a lot of catching up to do, Mum. I think it's time, don't you? There's a heavy sigh from Rhódania's mum. I still don't know where to begin, but I owe my daughter enough. Come and get cozy. Let's have a wee chat. As our view shows Rhódania walking into the room and closing the door behind her. And that's where we'll pick up from next session. As the music swells to the end. Love it when Sirenscape does that, comes in clutch. Shout out to Sirenscape. That does it for this week's session of the Rhódania Chronicles. It is good to be back after our little hiatus. Hope you have all enjoyed it. Big thanks to everyone who's tuned in tonight and to my wonderful players, including Mai and Pat, who have been in chat, doing their usual arsing around. We love you guys. Before we finish off and go a raiding, let's go around the table. Friends, please, reintroduce yourself. Plug anything you've got to plug. And give us your favourite moment from the session. Starting with... Westerly.
Hello, friends. It is I, Westerly, your second favorite truthful boy of the Wyld Ones. If you can't find me here, well, that's on me. I'm so sorry. I'm usually on Phoenix's channel on Wednesdays and coming very soon, Saturdays. As it will be diving into a new campaign, Vandelva and Below. Or the Shattered Obelisk. Who cares? The starter set, you know it. You can find me there. My favorite moment of the session was probably exposing the fraud of the High Magistrate for all to view, extorting and blackmailing, and taking his food and sending stones.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to try and keep politics out of D&D, but sometimes it's just fun to just explore that and show how much of a caricature it is in real life. But not to get too political on QuestJunkies, obviously. But
Never.
Yes, thank you so much. Moving down the overlay, Reese.
Hello there, friends. My name is Wyatt. I play Reese on tonight's. You can find me pretty much across the interwebs as MM Wyatt or the MM Wyatt. I'm currently going through a rebranding and name change and pretty much everything else. I will be moving away from the Moonkeep content for quite a while, but that is a-okay. But yeah, more to come. Super excited about it. Let's see, my favorite moment. I have to say Zone of Truth was pretty fun.
Yeah, putting me in real hot water there with Mai, I'm sure, once Mai's watched the boss.
100%. We're all in hot water. That's fine.
Oh dear. I mean, this campaign was born of chaos, so I should have seen it coming. And last but certainly not least, by any measure, Frank.
Hi everybody, I'm Bridget. I've been Frike, the way of the Long Death Shattercam monk. When I'm not here questing around, you can find me Friday nights getting scared and horny over on Stradalicious. And when I'm not on stream, you can find me behind the scenes, recapping, lore keeping, fanficking, all that fun stuff. I always struggle to pick a favorite moment, but yeah. Being back, learning all kinds of things, bits of lore drops. Lore keeper, man. Nom nom.
Nom nom nom. Sprinkling on like Salt Bay. Thank you so much. I don't even know where that reference came from. It did not. I'm tired. I am also Patch, your ever humble dungeon master. I played everybody else, mainly the politician that everyone now loves, the man of the people, everyone's favorite. 5 more years. You can find me here all the time. QuestJunkies is my thing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on QuestJunkies. You can also find me every other Friday over on QuestJunkiesUK for the Jacentus Tyranny campaign, where I play my sassy yet classy Order of Scribes, Kalishtar Wizard Cleric, Count Stargrove. And we have lots of exciting things coming up in the future right here on QuestJunkies. I'll be doing a general state of play kind of video for QuestJunkies in the coming week or two, just to go over like our plans going forward, the projects that we've announced, and how we're going to deliver everything that we've announced. That's right, even all those ridiculous amount of one-shots, we're doing them all. You just you wait and see. We have a plan. It's gonna be fun. Lots of exciting stuff. And yeah, my favorite moment. I think if I'm gonna be honest, it was being able to do the flashback sequence for Reese. Because Galea is an area that we've almost never explored. We've explored it once before on the first campaign that we ever did. And it's you know, the party was there for like half a session and then they were gone. And it's like, oh, there's all this stuff here that no one got to see. But it's always good to just revisit some little tidbits from the past, which has happened a lot recently in this campaign. I'm kind of here for it. So keep throwing curveballs at me and bring me back to my old notes. I'm here for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, we're going to love you and leave you, my friends. We're going to find someone to go raid, but we shall next see you on Wednesday for the Wildmount Chronicles. Until then, all the love to you at home. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.